Hello.
Hi, I'm Shelly Calcanio, and I'm the author of Cybermaster and the Invisibility Cape. I wrote this book as a co-author with my friend Matt Tapley, and it follows a series of superhero siblings. And I'm super excited today because I'm here with Joey Tapley, who is one of the characters in this book. Welcome, Joey.
Thank you so much. It's been really great to get a moment off of my time fighting crime to be here. It's an honor.
I'm so glad to see you. So Joey, we have a really long history. I've known you your whole life, known your parents before you were even born. We've been close friends forever. Have you ever seen one of those, like, I'm probably aging myself here, those little books that you turn the pages really fast and in the corner there's like a little character that moves along?
Little flip book?
Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I was just thinking about like our relationship the other day, and I was thinking about how I can just kind of do that in my mind, and I can just see all the stages of your life, like from when you were a little baby to a toddler, to a kid, to a teenager, to young adult. And so it's just been such a joy for me to watch you grow up. And I just think you're an incredible guy. And so I was thinking of some fun memories. I just wanted to like see if you remember them too. I was thinking for a while I was your kids' pastor. Do you remember that?
Yes. I'm sorry for everything.
No, it's all good. My favorite memory of that is I knew every Sunday morning to have a stack of paper and pencils ready for you, because you would just run in and you would be drawing. So that was, that was our thing that we did. So many family memories, you and your siblings with my kids making videos at our house. We probably have a whole, a lot of that locked away.
Got a couple burned seats somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Okay, so you have been turned into a superhero called Cybermaster, which I think is pretty cool in this new book. So I want to know, do you think, as a kid who I know used to like superheroes, how do you feel about Cybermaster? Do you like him? Does he meet your standards?
He does meet my standards. I like the outfit.
Okay.
I gotta say, I'm more of a pants guy than a shorts guy, but you know what? That's okay. I think it's great. That's about exactly what I would be doing as a kid.
Okay, so he captures your overall persona.
Like, captures my overall essence in like the summer, maybe. Okay,
so this is like summer Joey as a superhero. Okay, well, your dad and I had a really fun time just creating these alter egos for you guys. My favorite picture in here is the one, it has you sitting in front of all of these screens. I just love that picture. And especially there's like a little juice box on the table. And I just, yes. And I just feel like this character really captures you. I think you're a brilliant guy in real life. I think you've been brilliant all of your life, even as a kid. So just the whole tech aspect of your life, how does that fit into your life now? Are you still a tech guy?
I actually work in the tech department at our church now. I've been doing that for just shy of 5 years now. So yeah, it came true. That's exactly what I'm doing now. I was doing it then, I'm doing it now. Okay,
so in your real life, like your superhero persona is actually kind of part of your real life. You don't wear a cape on Sundays, but
I tried and they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, that's good. That's so great. So in this story, the cape is actually an invisibility cape. So I had a question. In your real life, where do you think you would use an invisibility cape? Where would it come in handy?
Yeah, in real life, like as a practical thing?
As an everyday Joey, where would you use an invisibility cape? How would that help you?
I guess if I'm having a really awkward conversation, I would just be like, what's that? And then
just be invisible. That's easy. Good. I feel like I would probably use that for the same.
I mean, I can think of other things that might be a little more nefarious, like, go to Starbucks, there's a latte on the counter, just grab it. Like, oh, that latte's flying away.
That would be.
And it's mine.
Yeah, that would be good. I love that. So this book project is exciting. And talking about young Joey, I think young Joey would have loved being a superhero. And I know that you and your siblings and my kids would have acted out this whole story for sure. But I also hold this project with tenderness too. There's a real bittersweet aspect of it for me because I love, as a writer, I love starting with a blank page and now holding a book in our hands. Like, I love that whole process. I just find it thrilling and exciting and the creative part of it. But also, I hold it so gently because I also know it's the story of your family. Like, it's a true story of what you've walked through. And we have this book today because of a deep loss. So I think of that all the time. I think of that when I am doing social posts for it. Anything I'm doing for this book, I'm thinking about that. So I was curious. I'd love to know what you thought, like the first time that you read the story. What were your thoughts?
I think my first thought was, first of all, the obvious. It's amazing to be a superhero.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, reading it over, I really appreciated, like, I can tell the way you carried that balance. Again, like, obviously you've worked with our family for so long, and it meant a lot to me that it was done respectfully and with like attention to like where we were at, how we're doing now, and just, yeah, there was a mindfulness and attention to
yes,
like portraying it well. And I really appreciated that. I felt honored to be seen and heard in that context. And I think it's going to be such a resource for people in that situation who need to be seen.
Yeah. So Joey, I'd love to hear more of Sarah's story from you. Can you tell us about Sarah's story?
Yeah, for sure. So when Sarah was about 6 or 7 years old, she got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer when we were on a family trip. Just got a phone call, figured out about that. And pretty much from that moment on, our life just radically went upside down. She was basically in and out of several hospitals. We ended up in Mexico at one point in a hospital there. And yeah, she was the strongest, bravest person I've ever seen through that season. But after 3 years of going through treatments and from hospital to hospital to hospital, she passed away.
Sorry.
She was faithful to the end. She was fierce. She was strong. Like literally down to the wire. She was just like, I have faith that God can do anything, but even if he doesn't, I know where I'm going. And yeah.
How was your journey through that as her brother?
For me, I kind of just turned invisible, again, kind of like the book. I just determined, if this is the big thing that we're dealing with as a family and this is where all of the attention's going, I don't want to be more of an imposition. So I just kind of stepped back into the background and kind of just stopped being present. I was there for her. I was there as a friend, but just as far as like what I needed, wanted, was feeling, thinking, I just stopped talking pretty much entirely.
Well, in sitting down with your dad and going through the story and the characters, I know, that tenderness too came from him, just wanting to make sure, he honored you and your family as well. So I'm glad that you feel that way after reading the book. Sometimes when you go through a traumatic life experience and, losing a sibling, walking through that journey in your family and then, losing a sibling at a young age, that's a traumatic life experience for sure. And I think you can often think of your life before that experience and then your life after that experience. And there's even a sentence in the book, you were all carefree, you were all living life, you were all, out there being superheroes. And the sentence is, then one day everything changed. And you were so young when Sarah first got sick, probably around 7 or 8 years old. Can you remember, as you look back, that dividing line, before Sarah got sick and then after? I didn't really know the extent of what was happening. I know when we got the call and we got called into the room to talk about oh, guys, come talk. We've got some serious news about how Sarah's doing and what's going on. I don't think I really grappled with how much things were going to change at the time. I just knew that things were different because it was a really serious conversation. We all prayed together as a family. And pretty much the moment we got home, everything changed. And I think as a kid, it's just all I know is that my sister's sick, my parents are gone, or one's in the hospital, one's home, and everything's different. I don't really think I knew what to do with that. I just kind of, I don't know. It just was, I don't know. Yeah. Shut down a little.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It was a long journey that you went through. I remember a story that your parents talked about, and it's alluded in the book. I love this story. I think Sarah was home from the hospital and she was getting treatment, and she had a big IV pole that had to be, her medication was going through that. And so it was very, heavy and big. And so, it had to be moved carefully through the house. And I think the story goes, one morning they woke up on Saturday morning and Sarah wasn't in her room, but you and Sarah were downstairs watching cartoons together. And you had just somehow managed to carry that little pole, or that big pole, sorry, down the stairs and, for your sister and sit and watch TV and probably Disney Channel.
Something like that, yeah.
Dog with the Blog, Hannah Montana, that era. Yes. And so I just love that story so much. And we talk about that in the book too, how, Sarah was a hero for the way that she fought and lived out her journey. But you guys were, even when you didn't feel like a hero, you were supporting and you were helping and you were loving your sister so well. What other significant memories stand out to you, just being Sarah's brother during that time?
Well, I know for me, my goal was just I don't want to treat her like something's wrong or oh, you're sick or frail or fragile or anything like that. So I just went at it like normal, because I know that she complained a lot that people treated her like, oh, you poor, delicate little sunflower, you can't do this. Let's do everything for you. And I think just despite those people, she ended up doing track and field that year, which is incredible to me.
I remember that photo.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember a lot of our memories were just doing the dumbest things you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
In a way that's just it made sense to her and I. And it's looking back and I'm man, I don't get it, but it was fun.
Yeah. And you're right. That's probably in those moments, for her, she needed her family to be her family like they always were, right? So you being her brother like that and just treating her the same, I'm sure that was just so special, to her. And I'm glad that you have those memories. That's so good. As you mentioned in the story, we talk about the invisibility cape and you feeling as if you were not seen and if you should just stay hidden away, and wearing that invisibility to protect yourself. And that makes so much sense when a family is going through such an intense experience, and it disrupts the family dynamics. You have parents trying to, figure out what they're going to do because their child is sick and it's serious. There's all these decisions to be made. And of course, then that affects the siblings who are just as much part of it, but, they're kind of watching because, it's crisis mode. If you could talk to other kids that are maybe in that situation, we've written this book to help kids go through what you've gone through. How do you feel about the book after you read it?
I think it's an incredible resource. I know that there's a lot of kids, probably like myself, that would feel like this is the big thing going on. I'm just going to sit in the background and I don't want to talk about this because I don't want to be more of an imposition. But I think just educating them earlier on, no, your feelings are important, they're vital, and you still have a part to play here. I think that that's huge, and I am very thankful to the Sarah Tapley Foundation for having this resource available. When I was going through it, there weren't really a lot of resources for something like that. I think there were a couple, but they were pretty few and far between. So yeah, just making sure that everyone in the family is known, seen, prayed for, valued.
Yeah. I think the foundation also, in some cases, provides financial support as well for families. I'm sure you remember your parents being at the hospital and the cost of parking and meals, just a whole disruption of the whole family unit and life, as families know it in those situations. What is the hope of this book overall, do you think, for the Sarah Tapley Foundation?
I think just letting kids know that it's okay to be seen, I would say. If you're going through a situation or a season like that, it's not wrong that you feel like you're invisible, but you're not. You're seen, you're known, you're loved, and to come out of that and just reintegrate, be known.
Well, you were a young teenager when she passed away. So, you started the journey when you were about 8, and then you were, I think, around 12 or 13 when she passed away. So those are formative years. Those are, that's a lot to process in those years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that you went through that, because I know it was a hard time for you. How did your faith help you get through that?
I don't know.
Did it take a while for you to?
Yeah. It took a lot of processing and like developing with the Lord, because just, I think at the time it's like, I don't know how God can be good, God can heal, God can this, God can that. And this happened. So a lot of it was just trying to figure out like, what do I think about this? But the one thing I could never really let go of was the feeling like, this is real, because it gave my sister so much peace in the end. So I was like, there's something to this that I need to claim.
Yeah.
And I just need to find out what that is.
Yeah.
So I honestly have no idea where I would be without the Lord. I don't think I'd have made it nearly as far as I have now.
Yeah.
It's been a wrestle. It's been hard some days more than others, but yeah, I would say faith was everything for getting out of that.
It's good. And you're right. It is hard when you're in the middle of it, when you're a kid, to process those feelings. But I think it is important to know, for people to know, you can call on, there's places that can help you. There's, people that can help you, even through the Sarah Tapley Foundation. We're trying to connect with families and offer them support, people who are walking through similar situations, so that they know that they're not alone. I think that's such a challenge when we go through things. We often feel alone, and knowing that we're not alone can just make all the difference. So, I just want you to know that I'm just so proud of you. Whenever I see you, whether it's at church or, outside of church, I'm just so proud of the person that you've become, because I know that there have been struggles along the way. And just to see you, just to be sitting here with you and just talking with you about this today, I'm just so proud. The dedication at the beginning of the book says, dedicated to the real Cybermaster Joey, who grew up to be an amazing adult and is especially good at making people around him feel loved and seen. And I think that you're so good at that. I think that, I think people that are in your life are just blessed just by knowing you and who you are, and the way that, I love seeing you at church and getting, a big hug from you. So I just feel like you do see people, so, in the book, you feel invisible, and then you're seen. And I just love how now you see people. So I just think that's a real gift on your life. So I just want to encourage that, that in you. And I'm just curious, as we wrap up, what else do you want to be known for? After this journey, this stage of your life, what do you want to be known for?
My love for coffee.
Of course.
No, but in all seriousness, I'd want to be known as someone who, I think I would want to be known as someone that sees those that aren't seen. That is a call in my mind. I feel for those that feel like they haven't been seen or known. Just that there's hope for them and that there's purpose. I'd want to be known as someone who, has their life devoted to the Lord. I would want that to be, like, if that's the first thing out of someone's mouth, that would be an honor for me. Yeah,
that's so good. I truly believe too that every season in our life, good or bad, has purpose in shaping us and who we are and our calling and who God wants us to be. So, through all the difficulties and the journey that you've been, like, that's another reason why I'm so proud of you, because, you've taken everything that's happened to you and you've just let God use that in your life for good. And I just believe that you're going to continue just to be an encouragement to other people. I'm excited for people to read this book, and I'm excited for them to get to know who you are in your journey. And I just really feel like it's part of God's plan for you sharing this story. So I just want to thank you for doing that today. And I just think you're the best.
I think you're the best.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
We're just actors in the room. Our next big role is coming up.
Yeah. Professional hugger.
Thank you.